Hey folks, Paul Stanley, Carson Church. You ever feel like God's testing you or you're going through some kind of time of testing? Everybody goes through times of hardships and challenges and crossroads where they have to make difficult decisions. And I heard many Christians say to me, God's testing me. I even heard people who aren't Christians say that. And even more, though, I've heard Christians tell other people, God's just testing you when you're going through certain things in their life because he wants to know what kind of person you are. Or they'll say he wants to see what you'll do. I don't agree with that biblically because God doesn't need to test you or test me to find out what we'll do. God knows all things, past, present, and future. He already knows me more than I know myself for sure, and he knows what I'm going to do. When God brings these tests into our life, it's a time for you and for me, when it comes my time to go through them, to find out what kind of Christian we really are. I've been talking about this in church on Sundays, that especially this whole COVID thing, sometimes the way we respond to what's going on around us shows what's going on inside of us. It shows what kind of Christian we really are. And let me even ask you this question. Have you ever asked God to test you? Most people are going to say no to that because they don't want that to come. King David in Psalm 26 says this, he goes, "Test me, O Lord, and try me. Examine my heart and my mind." I challenge you to understand that David wanted God to reveal to him any shortcomings he may have had. David proclaimed that he trusted God, that he walked with God, that he didn't participate in a sinful life, that he loved to proclaim the deeds of God, and he loved the house of the Lord. I'm sure that David, being the kind of man that he was, a man after God's own heart, wanted God to test him so that David would understand what kind of man he really is. Because the trials and turmoils that come our way and how we respond, as I said, it reveals to us what kind of Christian we really are. David again, and he begged God in Psalm 139, he wanted to be purged of impurity. He says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious ways. See if there's any offensive way in me and lead me in the way everlasting." It takes a lot of courage to say to God, put me through a test, put me through a trial, put me through a hardship, put me through a challenge, because I want to see what I'm all about. It takes a lot of courage to do that. It takes a lot of trust in Jesus Christ to do that. But I encourage you to be that way. Don't be afraid of trials and temptations and things that come your way. You're being developed into a disciple of Jesus Christ, and it's revealing to you what kind of person you really are in him. And here's the thing. You have to determine when that comes and you find out what kind of person you really are. You have to determine what changes you're going to make in your life. I mean, everybody wants the happy-go-lucky Jesus where everything's perfect and everything's all about prosperity and being, that's not even biblical gospel. This is about us growing and developing and maturing. And it takes sometimes, when the silver is pure, it's because the dross has been melted off. It's been through the fire. And sometimes we have to be okay with that. Well, I'll take that back. Always we have to be okay with that. To become the men of God and the women of God that he wants us to be. So when your test comes, don't see it as something that's going to show God who you are. See it as something that God's showing you who you are, and allow God to come into that place with his healing, his discipline, and his restoration. Hey, God bless you. I hope you guys are staying strong, and we will see you next time.